Good morning, gardening friends. It's now October the 7th at a little past 11 a.m. and I just want to give you a quick garden update, and I think I'm going to start just sort of trying to do these in as few shots as possible and just posting them the same day. So anyway, here's the quickie update for what's happened in the last couple of days. I've been doing a lot of cleaning up in the garden. I've pulled out all the dead stuff, well, all the dead stuff on the front. I had a couple of experiments. I had one going in here, which was to try and actually grow a shrub from seed, and I've since moved the germinated seeds over to a tiny pot here. Over here I had another one I was trying, and that's just a couple of sticks from stuff I was doing yesterday, and a pencil. Nothing germinating here, so I don't know if I'm going to just plow it under or what, but to tell you about a little bit in this planter here, let me see if I can climb up. I cleared out one of the sections of the planter, and I don't know how well you can see that. Pulled all the soil out. That was the tomato, the 2010 tomato. Realized, among other things, that there were no weep holes in the bottom of this one, which was probably causing some problems. Also noticed that, let me see if I can sort of flip around, you can see I've got foil tape to kind of block some of the seams, because I didn't want cross-contamination between the sections of this planter. Well, there's no foil tape in that corner, and there's no foil tape in that corner, and you can see that there are roots growing down there, and I don't know if they're actually coming from this planter, this section, and going to another section, or if they're coming from another section. I'll figure that out as I go. I'll leave, I don't know, I'll probably cut them. Anyway, so that's kind of that planter. I'm letting it dry out. I'm going to add a little bit more foil. Actually, I guess if I want to put foil in that corner, I've got to cut those. At least I've got it on record that there were what looked like roots coming through, and actually if you look at the roots really carefully, they look like they're a little thicker where they come through and thinner when they get into the pot, so into this section. That would imply that they're actually coming from somewhere else. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Anyway, I washed it down. I put new drain holes in the bottom, which you can't really see. And I'm going to let it dry out, and then I'll put in some foil tape. So that's this particular section. I got 7 more of them to deal with. The ones in the back, I'm considering the fact that the nasturtium are actually still growing here. So I don't know that I'll transplant them. I may just leave these sections alone. The only problem being that if I plant out front here and then I go to the back sections, I'm going to be reaching over brand new plants to try and empty that out. So we'll see. I'll come up with some sort of plan, let you know when I come up with it. Up above the planter, I've done something else. I've mounted, actually I should probably climb back up again. I've mounted my birdhouse feeder, and I'm actually working on, I found the old video that I shot when I built this. It's incomplete, but I'm going to try and post that along with a calculator so you can see how to actually build one, maybe that looks a little bit better than what I did here. Those extra boards on the roof, those were part of the problem. I tried to drill a hole through the roof at an angle so I could stick in a plastic pipe, make it look like a chimney, but it would actually be the fill tube for filling this. Let's see if I can go up a little and you can see the seed that's in there. The birds have now taken an interest, and that odd contraption in the front is actually just a couple of holes and a couple of sticks that allow me to attach it, but have it cantilevered out over the edge there without dealing with a lot of nailing and really messing up the original thing, which was half falling apart anyway. But I'll post that as soon as I can. No big promises on that. I have also put up, I had 2 other things, and actually there's going to be one more. I've got the bird feeder with the actual seed here. I've refilled it, and that's actually probably half that distance at the top is what they've knocked out since last night. So they've become really interested in this. There's that, and there's the hummingbird feeder, which is actually filled with water right now. I have another hummingbird feeder, so there are going to be 2 of them, one with water, one with nectar, so that the hummingbirds have both sources to keep them fed and keep them coming back. And let me show you how I mounted that. It's actually kind of an interesting, I kept trying different ideas. That's what I finally settled on, and it's pretty simple. I just built the T out of a couple of pieces of wood And then down here, let me see, I don't know how well you can see the nail that's there, but basically there's a nail there, and that's a pivot point. And it's nailed in tightly enough that it's just sort of held by friction. But what it allows me to do is I can grab the bottom end of that board and I can push it outward, which then pulls the top inward, which makes it easier for me to change out the feeders or refill them. And then I just pull it towards me and the top part goes back like that, which sticks it further out so that when the birds take the seed, they're not dropping it all over my garden. Simple solution for a problem that was starting to make me a little crazy. Anyway, also here on the squash plants, I have cleaned them up a bit and also cleaned up pretty much all along here. Pulled out a lot of stuff. You can see there's a lot of seed in there. This was right underneath that bird feeder. And so that's going to generate a lot of this grass type stuff. It's actually in the sorghum family. And basically what I've been doing is just pulling them up when they get longer. And let me show you. I just have a bucket full of all of the stuff I've pulled up. I'm not sure why I'm saving it, but I've been pulling it up, and so I just let it grow long enough that I can actually yank on it and get the roots. So that seems to be solving that problem. Working my way across, you can see the rest of what I've planted here. I just watered, so some of the leaves are looking a little wilty. I did discover on my 4 o'clock there was a chewed up leaf on the bottom, so I seriously hope that's not the grasshoppers. I'm going to get seriously upset with them and go on the hunt with my flour and water mixture. This plant over here that looked like it was completely dead, well, I found a little bit of growth at the top, so I decided to clean it up and we'll see what happens. I should also point out that within here, I think the newest thing I planted yesterday was my Brussels sprouts. So I got 2 containers for the Brussels sprouts. They were just transplanted yesterday, so they're looking a little worse for wear, but hopefully they'll pick up sometime today. I also have to figure out on the Butter Crunch salad, these are starting to just turn yellow here, so maybe they're getting too much sun, even though it's not really hot right now. Maybe what I'll do is actually swap one of the Brussels sprouts with one of the lettuce, and we'll see, because this may get more sun here than over there, and we'll see if there's a difference. So, oh, and the bean plants are looking a little bit nicer. For some reason they're actually living. These are not wonderful looking bean plants, but they're still alive. So, silver lining, after planting 12 bean plants and having only 2 left, the grasshoppers got to all the rest of them. So anyway, I think that's it for this update. Looks like I'm just over 8 minutes already, so I'll try and talk faster or more succinctly next time. That's it for today. Just a real quick update, folks, before I get back to virtual birding. I've actually relined this one empty section of the larger planter there. I've kind of added some more foil to the lining because of the roots that had penetrated, so hopefully that will. I don't have it on the outer edges because what's going to migrate to the air. So that pretty much just a little update to show you that before I fill it with soil.